Hi guys, Al DeMarco here along with Steve Budin. Listen, there's something here at the site that you've probably looked at thousands of times, but I'll bet you most of you haven't clicked on it yet, and you're missing a great way to save money and get the best bets of the top handicappers at a discounted rate, and that is the Flexi Pass. And it's kind of unique. I think it's the only thing in this business that gives you an option of jumping from handicapper to handicapper, trying to catch the wave, to try to catch the big play as they come out. Because with the Flexi Pass, guys, you don't have to make a long-term commitment to any one handicapper. Instead, let's say you buy a 2-handicapper, 7-day handicapper Flexi Pass. You get to choose each one of those days which 2 handicappers you want the plays of. So today, for example, they might want my play and your play, maybe my play and Craig Davis's play. It's your option, but you're locked in at the price. You save a lot of money.
I remember when I came up with this concept like 6 years ago, I was in Disney World at the time, and they offered me that, Flexi Pass to be able to go, a park hopper they called it, from one park to the other, see the fireworks at this park, see the parade at this park. And that's when it dawned on me, this would be perfect for our business. Because in our business, the cappers, like the players themselves, are all very streaky. And that's why trusting the site is so important. And the fact that you can trust our records is so important. If you buy one handicapper for 30 days, well, he's going to go up, he's going to go down, and you're going to ride along with him. If you buy that same Flexi Pass for 30 days, you get to determine every day who you follow, so you can always follow the hot guy. It's a great strategy for winning.
And you can buy for 1 handicapper, 2, 3, 4 handicappers. You can buy the 1 handicapper 30-day Flexi Pass, and 30 days you can make a change of handicappers every single day. I'll tell you what a lot of guys do. They do make a commitment to one particular handicapper because, yes, everybody's streaky, but over the long term they produce a profit. But they buy a committed package from one guy, a 30-day package.
Usually right after he's hot.
Right, exactly. And they'll ride him, but then they come in and they use the Flexi Pass to cherry pick for other big plays. And here's the beautiful thing. If your play's $99 or if my play is $79, it has no effect on the Flexi Pass, guys. You're locked in at a huge discounted rate, and it doesn't matter how much the price of the individual play is that you're purchasing.
It gives you, the player, the flexibility within our system to be able to win.
So check it out, the Flexi Pass, all the details, click on the link, and you'll get it. Win money, save money at the same time. Good luck, everyone. Welcome back, everyone, to the Countdown to Kickoff pregame show, the only nationally televised pregame show that breaks down all your games from a point spread perspective. Al DeMarco here along with Steve Budin, joining us via video conference as he does every Sunday from Atlanta, handicapper Trace Adams. Trace, first game is going to be the first game here next on the docket, in fact. It's going to be your Houston game at home. The Texans laying about 11 points against the Cleveland Browns. Which side do you like in this one?
Well, I don't like a side in this one at all, but I love the total, and I love under the posted total, and I'll tell you why. Brownies come into this one averaging just over 15 points per game for the season. Their last 3 games have all landed under the posted total, and they've scored 17 points or less in 6 of their 7 games this year. Meanwhile, Houston, they're really ratcheting it up on defense. Their last 2 games, a total of 21 points allowed. They've allowed 14 points or less in 5 of their 8 games this year, and not surprisingly, 6 of their 8 total games this season have landed under. It's going to be a snore fest, but I think you can count on the under coming through in Cleveland and Houston this Sunday.
And we're sitting right around 41 points in that one. And as Trace pointed out, I mean, you know, it's really been the defense that has been carrying Houston. First year under the new defensive coordinator, Wade Phillips. Geez, hasn't he done these type of turnarounds during his career repeatedly? But last week they held Jacksonville to 174 total yards. Week prior at Tennessee, even more impressive, held them to 148 yards. In terms of the side here, I'll tell you what, I can't find any love for any reason to back the Browns. Not that I put my own money on Houston either, though, but I think you've got to go and lay it with the Texans.
Well, the last 5 games, the Browns have only scored 12 points a game. I don't know how the hell they're going to keep up to Houston. I mean, a lot of times people are scared to bet the obvious. They look at a line like this, it's 11 points, and they just get scared. But you can't get scared. Sometimes you got to bet the obvious. I think Houston wins this game, and I think they cover easy.
You said the exact same thing last week for San Francisco, Cleveland. The 49ers got the late score covered by a half point to a point against these same Browns, who, FYI, guys, have only gotten 2 covers in their last 15 games, no matter the location. Next game, who would have thought that the Cincinnati Bengals will be off to a 5-2 start right there at the top of the division as Baltimore and Pittsburgh battle it out. The Bengals, though, today getting no love from the odds makers after going to Seattle, taking care of the Seahawks last week. They are actually catching 3 points at Tennessee. And I guess my question here with the Titans is, which team are we going to get with Tennessee? Is it going to be the one 2 weeks ago that looked so impotent when taking on those Houston Texans, or it's going to be the one that last week basically toyed with Jacksonville?
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I think the latter is going to be the case for the Titans here. I mean, look, they beat the Colts last week, but they only had 96 yards rushing doing it. So I don't know when this running game is going to get on track for the Titans. They're just 5-10 their last 15 as a home favorite. And I'll tell you what, I've never been a big Marvin Lewis guy, but he's got that defense playing some great ball for the Bengals this year, number 2 in the league. And they're on a 4-game winning cover streak, covering all 3 this season as an underdog. I know going from Seattle back to the East Coast is a little bit tough, but I'm going to ride the Bengals here and take the points and look for them to come up big once again on Sunday.
Well, you know, Cincinnati's getting the job done because they're managing the offense. They're not asking Andy Dalton to do too much, but that was an impressive defensive performance last week at Seattle. You know, with Cedric Benson serving a 1-game suspension, Bernard Scott stepped in, 22 carries, 76 yards. Benson is back here. I think this is going to be a field goal type of game, a low-scoring game as well, so you might want to think about the under at 41. But, you know, I lean a little toward the Bengals, buying up the half point and the under in this one.
I actually really like the Bengals in this spot. And you talk about their defense, number 2 in the league. What it really does for them is it allows them to win the field position game. And that puts Dalton in great spots for him to not have to do too much to score. And I think that's why they've had the success they've had. I like the Bengals here. I think it's a good spot for them, plus the 3 points.
Okay, listen, Trace's last game is going to be Dallas-Seattle, but listen, I got to give you the shameless self-promotion plug. But it won't be, it'll be shameless, but it won't be self-promoting because I'm going to do it. But your pay after you win plays. Last Sunday, the Detroit Lions, 45-10 at Denver. Monday night, although I don't want to talk about the Monday night team too many times, Kansas City and San Diego under 28 out of 39 over a 4-month period. And again, it's pay after you win, so it's something people you ought to check out because, again, if Trace doesn't win, you don't pay, and there's nothing more fair or economical than that.
And if Trace wins, your bookmaker pays.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's a
exactly
lot better.
it. And everybody's happy except the bookie. Dallas and Seattle, of course, we know the deal with the Cowboys coming off the Sunday night debacle, 34-7 loss at Philadelphia. Meanwhile, Seattle, well, every week's a debacle for Pete Carroll's team. Do you lay it with the Pokes, or do you grab the points for some reason with the Seahawks?
Yeah, and there's no reason to back the Seahawks in this one, I can tell you that. I know Dallas got whitewashed at Philadelphia, but you could see that one coming down the pike. I mean, the Eagles were coming off a break last week. Hey, Dallas rebounded just fine when they lost to New England earlier this year. They followed it up with a home rout of the St. Louis Rams, and I'm going to look for them to do the same this week against a terrible Seattle team. I mean, whether it's Jackson or Whitehurst under center, you know, they're just not getting the job done. Seattle has scored 15 points in their last 2 games combined, and 17 points or less in 5 of 7 this year. There's just not enough offense there, and eventually Dallas is going to break through that dam and win this one going away. I say go ahead and lay the lumber with the Pokes.
Well, you know, double-digit favorites, 5-9 against the spread this year, but I think in this particular case, it is the obvious. You got to take the Cowboys. This is a team that's covered 18 of its last 27. Coming off a Sunday night game, so I don't think that's anything to really be concerned about here. And the bottom line is this is a bad Seattle team, a Seattle team that couldn't run the ball last week at home against the Cincinnati Bengals, against a Cowboys team whose rush defense was totally just, I mean, awful. Whatever adjective you want to use.
Abysmal.
It was awful. Abysmal. I mean, Shady McCoy ran for 185 yards on 30 carries against them. So I say you go ahead and lay it with Dallas, too. It's the only play to make. They killed the St. Louis Rams 2 weeks ago at
This is
home.
the same type of game. Dallas beats bad teams when they play at home. Other than that, they kind of look like Mike Tyson in the second half of his career, kind of resembling a good team, but not really a good team. But in this spot, you lay the 11 with the Cowboys.
And Rob Ryan, please get a haircut.
Oh, my God.
I mean, that is just, it looks like a fright wig on Halloween night. Hey,
He's like a cross between Barbie and the Pillsbury Doughboy.
and the latter probably more than the former. Hey guys, remember Trace Adams has a daily video report just like I do on his website every single day where you can get his free picks, his in-depth analysis, and all the other good stuff from Trace Adams. Thanks for joining us once again. Guys, we are going to be back in just a moment. All the details how you can win $300 of my money playing fantasy football.